If you didn't do any of those sales activity, how much money would you have lost?
About USD last year.
That's a freaking property. So one of the key indicators of knowing whether an offer is crashing is
Different offers, they go up and down every 6 months. What have you done?
so I've done every offer. So if one offer goes down, I'll max out the.
Welcome to another episode of the Dynasty Podcast. Today we're gonna go over if your lead flow goes down, let's say you have less sales calls in your calendar, your marketing goes down, what should you do? Should you switch offers and hop offers, be like sayonara, or should you do something in your current offer, stay? If so, what can you do to actually make more money? So we're gonna dive into that.
This is finally what we can actually disagree on for the sake of disagreeing. Actually,
Oh, interesting.
I think at the end of the day, we all have the same answer, but I'm gonna disagree with you for the sake of disagreeing as much as possible, just for the views. What can I do to get more views? Should
Get
I
naked.
like take off my pants and everything?
Get naked.
You know? Get naked.
Yep.
Next episode.
There we
episode.
go. So smash the like button, subscribe. Let's get to it. So this happens quite frequently in the high ticket space, just because the high ticket space is not as like a stable industry. Like for example, the traditional industries like insurance. When I was selling at my last company, I dealt with a lot of those people, like insurance, solar, like those kind of people. It's a very kind of stable industry because those industries are big. Info industry, we're getting there, but we're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Right? So like lead flow will go down, offers will go, like they'll be hot, and then offers will go down. So in that case, like you've been on 17 different offers, right?
Yeah.
How often has that happened on the different offers you've been on?
I think it happens every 6 months.
Every offer?
Every offer, it happens. Yeah, especially the biz up ones, fitness also. Yeah, I mean, done for you offers especially. If you get a done for you offer, like you got to make sure that you're riding the tide, because at one point it's gonna crash. Also, I guarantee you that. Also, 5 years. I mean, 5 years is a pretty short time. It could be a long time. Also, I've seen done for you offers go stardom, get crashed for some reason. Also, all the time.
Yeah, first I was anticipating that it will happen for hot offers, because when I was a sales sniper, there was this one offer it's like a crypto coaching offer. Yeah. And on there, at that time, crypto was red hot. So at that time, everyone wanted to do like crypto shit, right? So they started with like a 5K offer. Everyone's closing at 70%.
Yeah.
Right?
I literally know people that was on Sales Sniper also making 100K a month, and the next month make 5K a month. Literally.
Same offer.
Yeah, no, not same offer. I mean, like they were kicked out of the offer because the offer's no longer there. Yeah. And the next month they have no offer. They were like doing some part time and then make 5K a month. I literally see that.
So that happens, right? So they started the 5K offer, then like, oh, everyone's closing at 70%. Then got to 10K, everyone's still buying. Then got to 20K, and then like most people are still closing at 70%. Even on the application page, they said, hey, if you don't have 20K to your name, do not book. People still booked.
So this shows one thing also, and this me being sidetracking again also, but I mean, your income also, the people that like claim that they are making 30K, 40K a month, they're not necessarily making that because they're good also. Because if they were better, they could be making 6K a month also. Because I've seen a lot of skill closers also are in bad offers, and they're just kind of capped at that also in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is that offers come and go, and offers go higher or lower. So the only thing that's going to remain constant is you and your skill set. Because if you have that, it doesn't matter if the market changes. You can just go anywhere, right? Like being a good sales guy is like being a hot girl. Hot girls, they get invitation to Maldives. They get invitation to the Dubai yachts. They get the gifts. You know what I mean? But as a sales guy, in the DMs, they're getting opportunities. Same thing as a good sales guy. I put out this one post the other day, hey, I'm going to sell part-time. And then I got like 30 DMs. And then not all of them are good, but there are solid ones.
This makes me think in a way that, what if I was born as a girl? I'll just wipe out Dubai as a girl and just go.
What do you mean wipe out?
Like just like, I mean, I don't know, like just get a lot of gifts.
Haram.
Get a lot of gifts. Go to like travel. Like, what am I doing right now? Like, what am I doing this for? You know, I could have just got like 9K just wired to your bank account. Just in my bank account for like 2 seconds of like texting someone also or foot pic. I don't know.
Exactly. Working hard.
Chose the wrong gender, you know?
Exactly.
It's a decision now.
It's never too late, June. Just realize. But anyways, okay, so if the lead flow tanks, so what do you typically do, right? So different offers, they go up and down every 6 months. What have you done?
So every offer, by the way, I've done outbounds. Every offer. Like, for me at least, I've done outbounds, and I think that's what contributed the most in terms of my skill set also, and how like guys, even though like I break up with an offer, like the manager still like me because they know my hustle. Even though I was fired, right? We were ending in good terms. For example, Adam had to fire me because I wasn't performing. Also, and if you guys want to check out how I got fired, actually, like check the other episodes. Find it over. I don't know.
We never know what side of the screen.
We never know. Yeah, we have a lot of podcasts already shot also. But anyways, like I still have a great relationship with Adam, and Adam still respects me even though I was fired because he knows my skill set. He knows I've been just when no one was outbound dialing in the team, the closers, by the way, great closers, by the way, because they didn't need to outbound dial in a way, but I had to, But for me, I was the only one outbound dialing, like 100, 200 leads a day, outside of my 8 calls booked also, because I was doing 2 offers at the same time as well. So every offer I did outbound dials, but sometimes you get fired. Sometimes like the offer just doesn't work out. It's just a shitty offer, or the offer crashes, and it crashes real fast also. Like Marco, when he was coaching me one-on-one, he told me, June, give 2 weeks. If it doesn't work out, leave. Save your own ass. Marco told me that also. I was like, okay. If Marco says it, I'll just adopt it, So 2 weeks is my time frame. If I'm not making the money that I want with my level of skill set, I'm like, okay. But what I've done is I've worked on 17 different offers, but it wasn't like sequential. What I mean by that, it was like just one offer. I was stacking offers. So I'd have 2 offers every single time. Mm-hmm. So if one offer goes down, I would max out the calendar for the other offer and look for another offer. Mm-hmm. The managers would hate me, but they knew I was doing that. And they couldn't do anything about it because I was irreplaceable for them. And it's better to have me part-time rather than just find another closer full-time for them. So, I leveraged that, honestly. I wasn't being necessarily a princess closer because I was doing outbounds, referrals. No one was doing that. I was the one who was asking managers, hey, how can I make more money over here? How can I make more money? Like, give me some lists also. Like, a lot of people can testify to Hisem, Adam. A lot of people. Like, sorry if I'm not like shouting out some names.
Someone's crying in the corner.
Yeah.
Sifu's crying in the corner.
Sifu?
But June, I taught you.
Don't we want Sifu on the podcast, actually?
Oh, if you want Sifu, let's start a petition.
Yeah, I want those views, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Everyone in this space got started with Dan Log. Not everyone now. I guess it's been some time now.
He was the pioneer, bro.
He was a pioneer. Anyways, coming back to the point, though, is in this industry, when it comes to BizOp or fitness or whatever offer crypto done for you, like, it's better to have another offer where you're hedging your risk. And if one offer goes down, you max out the other call's calendar.
Yeah.
Also.
Have you always had 2 offers going at the same time throughout your career?
I started that 2 years ago. Started doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Because I did that for maybe like a week or 2, and then I kind of did it because I was transitioning into a different offer. Mm-hmm. But that's the interesting thing about you and me, is because we have such a different experience in the sales career, because you've been on 17 different offers. I've been on like 4, like 3 or 4.
That's good.
Right? So I had one, I guess like 3 main ones, right? So I had like 3 main ones, and I never did the offer hopping thing, quote unquote. Like I made a proactive decision to like, okay, I'm doing good in this offer. I want to get into a better offer. I guess that's offer hopping, I guess. But I did that, but it was like very stable. It's not like the marketing shit to better. That happened one time actually. But they brought me onto like a different offer. But when that was happening, I could never figure out like doing 2 offers at once, because I did that for like a week when I was transitioning into a different offer. The calendar and the fucking leads, because let's say like you go from like, in my case, it was like 3 a.m. to like, what is it, like 8 a.m. or whatever. I would like be on the US offer. And then from like 8 a.m. to like 12, whatever, it'd be like an Australian offer because I was in Korea. But the thing is, like sometimes leads during this offer number 1, they can't do it from this time. So you got to book them into that, but you're on a different offer. So your brain's like, even if you're doing the same biz op, it's a different offer in a different company. So I'm like, I hated that, man.
So if I go more than 3 offers, now I'm like confusing names now.
Yeah.
I'm selling for a guy named James, but I'm saying John in the call now.
Yep. Like it's like the moment like when you're in bed and then the girl calls you, not June, but like, oh, Brian.
I can't relate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Imagine.
Yeah. Okay. I hope my mom's not seeing this.
Hey, Mom.
But for me, like the way how I go about it is if I'm selling for an e-com offer, like Shopify offer, then I'll sell like an Amazon offer. So it's pretty much same deliverable, same script. Like literally, in the script, first of all, you shouldn't be talking about the program. In your discovery till before the pitch, you shouldn't be talking about the program almost at all. Like 0 point, like what got you interested in booking call with me here today? Like what about James that attracted you? Instead of that portion, you shouldn't be talking about the program at all, in my opinion. You should be talking about them and make it concise as much as possible. The moment you talk about the program, it goes to the logical brain again. And it brings up unnecessary, cans of worms that you don't want to deal with. Anyways, with that being said, the script is pretty much the same. The pitch is different, but the pitch is every coaching offer is pretty much the same anyways. Coaching calls, course materials, community, right? So for me, it wasn't really that much of a big deal also. And the objection handling the framework also is pretty much the same also. So it's like, I can do 2 offers, but 3 offers, now I'm like confusing names now. Who's this guy? How is that guy, right?
Yeah, I just didn't like. I know some people like to do like 2 offers at once. I just can't because I also can't stand if I'm on 2 different offers because it would be like 4 or like 5 hours each, right? But I'm like, man, if I went balls to the walls on this offer, I can crank out this many sales. I guess it's like the competitive side of me. I'm just like, man, I'm a fucking leaderboard and like break like sales records and shit like that. So I'm like, I that wasn't my thing. And during the different times, offer like the marketing always shit the bed, but there was this one biz op offer where the marketing like really shit the bed. Like the close rate and the show up rate and the entire team halved like pretty much overnight. That happens. Maybe I'm just stubborn, man, but I just kept staying in there in that offer until my quote unquote sales manager proactively pulled me out. He's like, no, dude, get the fuck out, right? Because like I was in a sales agency. So I could have been on different offers, but I was the number 1 offer in that one offer where I was number 1. Marketing shit to bed, show up rate, close rate halved overnight. I was like, fuck, what the fuck is going on? I gotta do better. I gotta add more urgency. And at times I'd go to bed literally screaming into my pillow. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Right? Next morning I wake up as if nothing happens. Right? I go through the same thing. And then shout out to Anthony. Anthony was managing that account. I was like, no, bro, it's not you. But I kept saying, like, no, Anthony, how can I add more urgency? But eventually, Anthony and Marco pulled me out. I was like, dude, like, we're going to put you on a different offer. Okay? We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. And then eventually, that's when they put me on 7th. And then I fucking went balls to the walls. And like, I got so excited. I was like a kid in a candy store. So just getting after it.
So one of the key indicators of knowing whether an offer is crashing is when everyone's numbers dropping. If it's just your number dropping, then it's just your fault, right? You're doing something wrong. But if everyone's numbers dropping at the same time, even the top performers in your offer, or if you're a top performer, but even like below you, everyone's dropping, then there's something going wrong in the marketing. That's what you can smell. And if it goes on for at least 7 days, 2 weeks, now Marco told me, right, is time to go for another offer.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Marco's like 2 weeks is the best time when he was like, hey, June, when you hop on a new offer, 2 weeks is the time that you want to give in.
Interesting.
And if you're not making anything, like just leave.
Yeah.
No can do. There's nothing much you can do. Right?
Yeah.
And one of the things is like you and I, we've been also subject to, bad offers, I guess, like bad situations rather. But the thing is, those are great experiences because the harder the marketing gets, the more, and for us, we take responsibility. It's always our fault. Like, I should have done better in the call, even though we probably, and Marco told me also, and it was so hard to swallow, was June, you can do everything perfect in the call, but if they don't buy, like you've done everything perfect, but they're just not meant to buy. And I was like, that was such a hard pill to swallow because I'm thinking like, Marco could have closed. I could have done more of this. I could have done more of this. But this also says one thing is your sales process is stronger than the person at the end of the day. Like your marketing will always be stronger, right? The process will be always stronger than the person, really. There's not many closers that can really just go bypass that, really.
Yeah, and we want to make an important distinction because we don't want to let that as an excuse to be like, oh, it's the marketing that didn't close the deals or whatever. We don't want to make that, right? But it's like, if you've done your process to the best of your ability to throw the fucking kitchen sink at them and they don't buy, they're like, yeah, follow up. But in that moment, you're like, okay, next one. A lot easier said than done, we know. But that's like the, I guess like the mental headspace we're coming at, right?
Right. And you got to also understand the context of the call also. Like they come in and be like, what is this all about? What is the e-com? And if you get that, like, let's say 70, 80% of the time, then there's something wrong with, like, of course, you could be, like, right, you could be triggering that, right? But if it happens from the very get-go and they're like very closed off and they don't even know what they're in for, and every call is pretty much like that, then there's something wrong with the marketing also, and you have to smell that as well. And the third thing is also like be aware of startup offers also, because startup is startup for a reason, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I always say I'd rather start from the bottom of the barrel at an established, really good, like 8-figure company, for example, that I believe in the product, the influencer. You don't need to be passionate about it, but like good product, good social proof, stable. They're pouring effort and time and money into like the marketing and like the sales team. Bottom of the barrel, I'd rather be like a DM setter, like an outbound calling old lead list, rather than being like the only closer at like a 6-figure company.
Yeah.
Because what's the whole point?
Yeah. I mean, so right now we have our own offer. I mean, you have your own school group. I'm doing coaching right now, but I've been a DM setter also, right, for a couple of months. I've also done outbound. Like I was in a career also at one point where I was doing this Amazon Dumpy offer, and I was like, if I don't call 250 leads a day, if I don't have 13 sets, I get fired. That type of environment, and that was a time where I was like improving like just like exponential growth right away because of numbers. Like you cannot beat numbers at the end of the day. And we could talk about the role plays also, because like people do role plays. I think role plays is the least effective way to improve your skill set.
Oh, controversy.
Actually, I know. More controversy. I know. I'm 100% certain.
Okay.
And I'm the living proof.
But Jun, Sifu. So you should role play.
Role play? Should I bring my police hat and like my nurse gown and like my whip and everything? Like,
but it's important. But let's go through this, right? Because so if it goes on for like 2 weeks, like leave that offer if it's like totally like unrecoverable, right? And the business even like doing shit. But let's talk in like a short-term basis, right? Let's say, for example, lead flow kind of went down. It's not like the lead quality shit, but maybe less sales calls in the calendar. What do most closers typically do? What we see and what I see is that, okay, they either watch YouTube, let's say a sales call no-shows, right? Or they have slightly less sales calls in the calendar for like a few days or whatever. They go on YouTube, or they'll fix their script.
What's wrong with YouTube? Like, watch your podcast, by the way. You can watch your podcast 2-3 hours. That's fine.
Or cat videos.
Cat videos plus our podcast, but nothing else, please.
There we go. Right. So what they do is like they go on YouTube, or like as Matt will call it, they play PlayStation and jack off at the same time. And then wow. I don't know how you do that. Anyways, so you do that, or they'll do like random role plays with their friend or like their coworker, and then they're giving each other feedback. Matt said this, it's like, right, doing random role plays without a coach present. It's like Matt and Marco going practicing 3-point shooters, right? 3-point basketball, and then they're giving each other feedback. It's like, dude, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. It's like the blind leading the blind. What? Oh, bro, I think you should put your elbow like this. But like, none of them are making shots, right? Same thing on a role play. Bro, I think you should do this. Oh, yeah, bro.
Wow. I think I put it on Twitter. And go follow us on Twitter, by the way.
We have like 2 followers each. We're talking to the air.
But that's fine. It only takes me 1 second to put a sentence anyways. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So Twitter, I put a post at role plays are networking calls in disguise.
What does that mean?
Like, I mean, people network because they want to get better relationship with people, better opportunities, right? And build rapport and survive in this industry. I get the point of that. Take that as a networking call. If you're going to do role play, that's a good disguise as a networking call. Network with other people and get offers with your friends and family,
I think it does more harm.
Well, what do you mean?
Just doing like random, because you pick up bad habits from each other.
Oh, no. That's what I'm saying. Is just take that as a networking call. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Just do your process, whatever you're practicing on that person, and then just take it as a networking call. Hey, by the way, do you have any offers that I can get in? Like, just take it as a networking call rather, and just build a relationship with that person, than rather just take it as a training call rather.
Yeah, here's my philosophy on it. So how I believe is during your selling hours, you sell. Fucking shocking. Salesperson selling during work hours. shocking, right? So during your selling hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, even 4 hours, whatever you allocate into selling during the time you only sell.
Wait. Hold on. What about the people that say, "Oh, that's out of my pay stub, so I shouldn't be allowed to do that. So I shouldn't be entitled to do that.
What
the
the fuck
business
is
owner shouldn't be expecting me to do that."
What entitlement, all right? I also, it's very interesting how in the high ticket closure space, they call the business owner like a client. I found that very interesting. I'm like, no, they're the business owner you sell for.
It's like, your boss.
Yeah, basically, right? It's like
clients. Like you have only one client. You can only have 2 clients at most.
That's such an interesting concept. Anyways, okay. So
back to my point. Like, hey, like that's outside of my pay stub. I shouldn't be expected to do like outbounds. What do you tell them?
Then don't. But stop complaining about your lack of commissions.
And the Facebook comments and the Facebook fights are over going on because I'm not supposed to do outbounds.
Yeah, those are the princess closers. Just don't. Then don't do it, right? But what grinds my gears is people complaining that like they're not making the money they want to be making, but during like a no-show, they're watching YouTube or they're doing jack all, and then they're complaining. I'm like, you are the fucking problem. You're the problem. And I know that sounded sexy, like, I was kind of contemplating how should I phrase this because, maybe it's not their fault, you know what I mean? Because when they first got into the industry, they've been fun of fucking lie, which is, hey, become an HTC, become a high ticket closer. You can work from a beach, work from your home, wear pajamas, take 5 warm inbound leads that are ready to hand you your credit card. You just answer some questions and you'll master sales in 90 days and get to 20 grand a month. What a load of horseshit. What the fuck is that?
Wow, you're very passionate.
That's not real sales.
Yeah.
It's just not. And so they've been fed a lie, right? So I guess it's not their fault if you want to put it that way. Because they've been fed a lie. It's like it's like a lifestyle thing. Listen, if you want to do that, that's fine. But just have realistic expectations. You're probably not going to make as much money as you could as if during your no-show time, actually calling leads, following up the people who showed up to a sales call with you but didn't buy your no sales, or people who booked a sales call with you but didn't show up your no shows, upselling clients, generating referrals, outbound, all of that. You don't have to. You don't have to do jack all shit. But by you not doing that, just understand you're losing money.
If you didn't do any of those sales activity outside of taking inbound calls, how much money would you have lost?
And I calculated this, about 100K to 120K USD last year.
That's a freaking property.
And how I know this is because I calculated, because I have my own tracker that I built out, right? Because I want to understand the data, and I'm a nerd. I'd rather look at spreadsheets than look at people.
Yeah.
So I built it out, and a pie chart automatically calculates it. Yeah. So it's a sales type distribution pie chart that I built out in my tracker, and then I calculate about 50% or less come from one call closes of my calls, my sales. About 30% came from upsells, and about 20% came from follow-up sales.
Yeah.
So meaning that if I hadn't done the follow-ups or the upsells or the renewals, then last year, I would have been making about 100 grand or 120 grand instead of like the 228K I made last year.
Yeah, yeah. And coming from a training perspective also, when you're role-playing with someone, you only get to do one time with some bullshit made-up character, right? But if you're outbounding, for example, when I was, when Adam was managing me and I was in his team, like I was outbound dialing 100, 200 dials a day, and I was specifically hitting the pitched but no sales list. So what answers did I get? Hey, it's June from Grow Channels. Like you booked in a time with us previously, but you never really got like what happened? Like I'll just make the intro, and from the straight get go, like most of the time in the first stream, it's Grow Channels. Yeah. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. Or I didn't have the money. I don't have the money. Or I just did something else. You're hit with objections right from the get go. Guess what? Perfect time to practice your objection.
Get you better. Yeah. Real life scenario instead of a fake made up scenario that's easy anyway.
And there's nothing to lose.
Yeah.
No one's gonna follow up with them anyways.
Yeah.
So better practice on them. But that's where I was like, because I was not making sales, right? So I was just giving my all. And that's where I memorized all my reframes, whatever, like lines and everything. I was on fire basically. So I got fired. I was on fire. I got fired also. Next offer, I was like basically crushing it.
Yep.
It got so easy. And that's like, because, okay, from a competition standpoint, you're role playing with one person a day. Oh, so I completed one role play. I'm training. Dude, while you're role playing one time with a made up character, I did 10 objection handle with a real life person every single day. You think you can compete with me? No. And I might be delusional, but I have that level of confidence now because you didn't earn your stripes.
Yep.
I was a DM sitter. I was a cold caller also. I was an outbound sitter also, triager, and now doing closer. I've accumulated all that skill set myself. Like, I don't think anyone can be better than me in terms of DMs also. And I mean, I might be delusional again, but in DMs I'm pretty good also. Like I have all that skill set. How are you going to compete with me? Also?
Yeah, I also like that because I wish I would have actually started as like a outbound SDR calling old lead list when I first got into high ticket sales because I started as a closer, weirdly enough. I've done some DM setting and I've taken some sales calls because I was trying to like start some different businesses, but not a lot, right? But if I were to start with like an outbound, like calling old lead list, that would have given me so many different reference experiences. Because the thing is this, when we break down, Brian Tracy said this, and Brian Tracy, like an old school sales guy, but there's one principle that kind of stood out, which is an average salesperson. Let's kind of break it down. It's based on high ticket. They probably talk to maybe like 2, 3, maybe 3, 4 leads a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if somebody's goal is to get to like 20, 30 grand a month, right? But they're not selling something particularly expensive. Maybe they're selling like 5K, 10K programs.
Yeah.
But their skill's not quite there yet in order to close like at a high percentage with those people. Then how are they supposed to be in a good position to hit their commission goal? They're just not.
And what drives me crazy is people need to kind of calculate how many sales they need to make per week to actually hit their commissions also, including payment plans, paid in fulls also. Like, I mean, I see so many people, oh, June, I want to make 20K a month. Okay, let's look at your calendar. Dude, you have 8 calls booked a week. What the fuck? Like, what if... Get a second offer at least. Like, well, what have you done?
Do something.
Like, if I had 8 calls a week, I'll be like driving myself crazy. I'm like, if I don't make a sale a day, I'll be anxious. Like, do something. And they're like, and how long has this been going on? They're like, 3 months. 3 months? You've allowed this for 3 months and making 2K a month? How can you allow this? Like, you're a professional. What the fuck are you talking about? Drives me absolutely crazy, you know?
Yeah. Because that's the thing is that they is a high ticket closer, not a sales professional. But what we're here to do is we want to make sales professionals great again. We want to make real sales great again. We want to make real sales great
Avoiding
again.
like bullets, you know?
Are we going to get shots? I don't know when this podcast is going to come out, but are we going to get shot?
Bullets.
But we want to make, dude, the Matrix. They're shooting at us. The sales Matrix. No, but this is really important because whether it be getting a second offer or doing outbound, like doesn't matter what it is. What's your goal? 20 grand a month? Perfect. Reverse engineer the numbers. And does the sales call volume on your current offer, does that fulfill your current close rate and your current show up rate? Most of the times it's not, which is why the person's not hitting their goal, right? So reverse engineer numbers. So from there, what do I need to do? What's the biggest constraint in my sales? Then you either decide to, you know what, I don't want to do outbound. Fine, at least get a second offer. If, you know what, in this offer, I see potential, then do something. I was the second route, which is during my no-show time, bro, you're sitting at your desk anyway. Why not call leads instead of watching YouTube? Because a lot of people, especially high-ticket closers, they think they're working 10 hours a day. They think they're burning out because of that. Reality, they're not. Because when we do the math, okay, let's do the math, bro. All right, cool. So how many sales calls booked? 6. How many show up? 4. Okay, cool. So 1 hour each. Okay, have you done follow-ups or outbound? No. You're working 4 hours a day.
You're working 4 hours a day.
Part-time gig, bro. You're not working. Listen, it's a very valid, quote-unquote, perceived problem, meaning that you're sitting at your desk for 10 hours, yes, but you're not working for 10 hours. And so you really want to maximize it. And I'm not perfect either, right? When I was on my last offer, most months I was doing the most amount of dials out of all the different closers. I was doing more dials than half the SDRs. You're an SDR. You're on top of my sales calls, right? Because like during my no-show time, I actually dialed and I had like dedicated follow-up blocks outside of that. You don't even need to go to that point. But if someone no-showed, what else are you going to do?
And one thing I learned recently, and I joined your school community, by the way. Thanks for joining mine also.
Thanks for lunch money.
But this is what I learned recently, and I wish I knew this in my career, was one thing that is so genius, I think you learned this from Matt, is that if there's a no-show, like you can outbound dial someone, but you can also dial someone that's like 2 days away or 3 days away, like the guy in the furthest in the calendar. Bring that person, just call it. Hey, do you have time right now? Okay, let's do the call right now, rather. instead of that. And then
Yeah.
you do the call. If they're open to it, you do the call then. And then guess what? You're utilizing the no-show time basically for 1 hour. And then if that's a no-sale, I mean, that person was not going to show up anyways. He's like booked out for 3 days out. Not going to show up pretty much anyways, right? And then you can just cancel the call, open up that lead so you can take that call, maximize your calendar that way. And I was like, shit, I wish I knew that early on.
Yeah, so let's go to what I call the no-show SOP. So I built it out because whenever you get a no-show, you may have the biggest problem is that people have decision fatigue, meaning that, I have a no-show. What should I do? Should I call the no-sales? Should I call the no-shows? Upsell people, follow-ups, like what should I do? They get overwhelmed. So which is why what I found helped was having a standard operating procedure, SOP, right? So when they no-show, I don't have to have decision fatigue and waste time and mental effort. I know exactly what lead list to hit first. So on my lead list, it looked like this. Step, what June went over, which is if someone no-showed, first of all, that lead that booked in, call them, text them, whatever. If they still don't no-show, right? Then what you want to do is, what I did was I actually called the sales calls that are booked farther out, and I called them to bring them forward. What does that mean? Let's say today's Monday. This person no-show, text them, call them, nothing. Let's say you have sales calls booked on Wednesday, the farthest out. So you call them. You start with those people, and then some people may not answer, some people answer. It's like, hey, June. Hey, June, man, it's just Brian from XYZ company. Yeah, I know we're booked in for Wednesday, but my previous appointment wrapped up was early. You just want to talk now? And if they say yes, all right, cool. I'll send you the Zoom link, or if it's going to take too long, just like talk on the phone. Yeah. So, and then you just want to like wheel and deal, like work your way backwards. The reason why you want to start with the furthest out is because those people are the most likely to no-show. Yeah. Because they're furthest out. Yeah. So what you're doing is that you're reducing your no-show rate, and also you're maximizing the calendar space. Yeah. So you would have closed no deal during that time because you have a no-show, but now you have an opportunity to actually close deals, and that's what I did. I found that those people actually close better because maybe it's like spur of the moment or whatever. Maybe I don't know exactly the science behind it, but like I had nothing. That person shows up and I piff like a 9K deal.
Probably they close better because they saw the marketing material. They're still warm, and every day goes by. What would you say? Their temperature just drops, right? So rather do that than you could just literally that was so genius. But I think it comes down to prioritization, what to prioritize and where to categorize based on your priorities also. And I learned this from Miles Dukes. I didn't really implement his program so much. I bought it 4 years ago, I think. Yeah. It was a $300 program, but what I learned was while you're DM setting someone, right? There are certain lead lists that you want to hit first and reply first, and then go later down the road. And your priority is based on how hot that lead is, right? And if they have the most possibility to get a call booked or piff or whatever, then you text them first, and then put the other categories on the secondary category, right? Your first priority was what? Calling the people outside, 3 days, 4 days out. So you bring them in also. And then there must be a second priority also, priority lead list, right? Third priority lead list. You go with that. How you decide priority was just basically who would close the fastest. And
who's the person that's most likely to close in the shortest amount of time that's going to bring you the most amount of commissions. Exactly. Yeah, those are with the hot list, right? So you want to work your backwards. Different offers have different things you can work with, okay? So my go-to was the expiring client list, meaning that let's say it's a 90-day program, and they're around day 60 to 70 days they spend in the program, and I could upsell those people. Reason why, and I had a smart view for this. Smart view is a filter you can set in your CRM. I had close. HubSpot, I think you can do it. High level, you can do it. But different CRM where you can set a smart view, and then it sets to the filter, right? So people who bought this program, they 60 to 70. If you don't know how to do it, ask your sales manager, your tech team, and then you do it. And then from there, I just power dial those people, meaning that I go through all that list. I found that those people, that was my go-to because I eventually started mapping out a process for upselling. Mm-hmm. And then on a lot of months, I was the number 2 or number 1 guy in terms of back-end revenue and upselling in my last offer. And so I had a process for it. I go through it. Because when you try to upsell people who just bought the front-end program, then they might be I just want to go through this program first. You may get that. And if it's expired, then the buying temperature kind of goes down. You can still do it. But I found that day 60 to 90, that's hot because they know their program's about to expire. They're what should I do next? You come in and you're let's talk about that. What kind of other help do you need? And okay, if it makes sense, then we can go through the other solution, which is what a lot of other clients do. And then you can do that to get to your next goal.
Yeah. And that's how you just maximize your time also. And if you want to just go I don't know, surf or just go to the beach, because there's a no-show. Like, I mean, that's up to you.
Yep.
Just don't call yourself a professional, rather, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't deserve it, right? I mean, you booked out for 8 hours, and I also like. People say, "Oh, I want to be the best closer. I want to be the best skilled guy. Also, I don't care about how much money I make." I mean, okay, cool. I respect that. You want to be the best. You want to be the best skilled guy. Also, how many calls are you taking per day? If you're taking 2 calls a day, like 10 calls or 6 calls, 14 calls a week, how are you gonna get better? I do 10 calls, like 10 calls taken a day, objection handling with people when I'm outbound dialing. How are you supposed to compete with me then? I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying I'm better than you, but logical numbers standpoint though, right? And I don't consider myself talented at all because you see me from where I started to where I'm at right now. I'm not talented. I was absolutely shit. But how are you going to compete with me, with my work ethic, or with your work ethic? I think you're way more disciplined than me. How are you supposed to compete with us with only just taking 2 calls a day?
Yeah,
like that's literally just
thing
asking for a shortcut.
And that's the thing is, I don't think we're the most talented salespeople, but and I'll speak for myself. Like, I don't think I'm that good at sales. Yeah, I have like basic foundation skills, but when I was on my last offer at 7th level, it was at the time they had about 15 to 20 closers, right? Or maybe 25. I don't know. I was number 2. There's only one guy I couldn't beat, and I have respect for him. But that was my first full year in high ticket sales, and I think the reason why is because, dude, there have been guys. I had the least sales experience on that team. I had the least sales experience. Other guys had like 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And these guys sold like on so many different offers. They have so many different experiences. But I think the reason why I was able to beat pretty much everyone except for one person is because I did these things. During my no-show, I just dialed leads. Because what else are you going to do? I'm like, what else am I going to do, right? So during that time, I followed up with leads. I like no sales. I objection handle them. So that's how you get better also.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of doing random role plays, it's like it's nothing, right? It's a fake scenario. But a real life situation, like they actually give you a real objection. You get more reference experiences. And reference experience is such a powerful tool because you can't like theoretically learn that.
Yeah.
Like you have to actually go through it. And the thing is, there's a saying that sales is not a numbers game. Yes and no. Here's how I believe. Why I believe. Like you can take it for whatever, right? But I do believe that sales is a numbers game because you reverse engineer the numbers, right? And volume, Alex Tremonti says this, volume negates luck.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And so even though we had the same amount of hours per week allocated to selling, I was able to beat all the other people because of this. I think there's other people that are skilled in that team. But I was able to do the same thing with too. Like there's a guy named Alex in our school community, and then he's like kind of new to sales, right? Kind of like a new offer, and the marketing's been slow. He said like less sales calls, but he's already on track to have his best month because he was doing these things. He was like outbound. He's like follow up with leads. If there aren't responses, follow up meme.
Yeah.
Send him like a follow meme, and then they get back on track. They call them, and then he closes them.
And sending up sending a meme takes 2 seconds.
Yep.
But sending a meme increase your even though like the prospect has been like ignoring you for 6 months, let's say, or a year, like just increase your percentage to 0.1. Like it can, like the moment the conversation starts, your closing ratio can go way up now. The percentage of closing that person goes way up. Why don't you even attempt that?
Yep.
I've seen people just burn leads because of their ego. Be like, oh, you're a bullshitter. You're so not like congruent. Like, how can you call yourself a leader? Like, I'm like, and it sounds all cool. I asked the guy, okay, like you sending that message, like, what's your response rate though? He was like 0. I just do it to fulfill my ego. I was like, okay.
Not that productive. And the thing is, like, I think I've done that like a couple of times too because like emotions got in the way. That's on me. But at the end of the day, like that's just ego. It's not productive, right? Because like some people do something, some people won't, right? And obviously on that call, we do the best of our ability. And after that, if they don't buy, you just keep following up. And I think people give up too soon. That's another thing. And oftentimes I can kind of tell how good a sales guy will be by seeing how persistent or not persistent they are during a sales job application process. So there's one guy is like, hey, Brian, I'm looking for an offer. Can you help me with that? And I don't even do offer placement. I don't really do that. But I know some sales recruiters. So I'm like, hey, man, if you want, I can just introduce you. That would be great. And then I introduced them to one dude. And then the guy didn't respond, the sales recruiter. And then after that, the sales guy, I think, followed up with him like one more time. And then he messaged me. He's like, Brian, I don't think he's interested. what should I do? Can you introduce me to another recruiter? I'm like, how many times have you followed up? He's like, a few times. Well, I see that one or twice.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. So one or twice, you think that person's not interested and you're going to give up? Listen, I'm not telling you to follow up with a person like 10 times a day because that's kind of annoying, right?
Yeah.
But you follow up like twice every like 3 days, bro, people get busy.
Yeah.
People get busy. I get calls and like, I'm not even that popular, right? I have like 400 followers on Instagram, like 2 on Twitter. But like even I get busy, right? On the way to the gym.
Influencer.
I know, influencer. There we go. But I'm like, even I see that on the way to the gym, I stick a message and like sometimes I forget to respond.
Yeah.
But you just need persistence, right? Like the video editor that we hire now, like he was persistent,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like we paid him money.
I felt important once in my lifetime.
Once in your life.
Someone's
For once.
pursuing me.
Exactly.
I love it. I love the pursuit. No, but that like I do a little bit of offer placement depending on because I don't want to. I mean, I don't think I have a reputation, but I don't want to tarnish my personal reputation or relationship with someone because I place someone who's bad, right? So I only place someone who's actually that I can trust also. But let's say I place that person and that person doesn't follow up. I'm like, hey, you are supposed to follow up. You're my student. You're supposed to follow up. Like I teach people to follow up. You should be following up, right? I mean, I literally said people, I literally did a 2-step on SOPs on how to follow up for free, you know, like how I follow up with people. Like, be playful, have fun. Like, you should do that. And it drives me crazy when, like, these closers are like, so formal. Hey, like, nice to meet you. I want to extend a hand. Like, just keep it casual. Just have fun, please. Yeah. Send a GIF. Like, just crack a joke. Inappropriate, appropriate. It doesn't matter. Crack a joke also. Like, why does it have to be always so serious in business for you?
Yep.
I don't. Anyways.
Yeah, 100%. Just like persistence is key. Even Matt, this kind of broke my, I guess, like quote unquote limiting belief. I was talking to Matt the other day, and even with his B2B leads, he calls them twice a day. Well, after he sent them a proposal and they don't like sign it or like they don't move forward, he calls them twice a day. He's a CEO of the business. Call them twice a day.
Wow.
Right? Wow. He got the shit to do. I'm like, shit.
And I'm following up with a business owner also. He runs a training offer. We're in the middle of conversation of growing a sales team. I'm going to pull up the conversation also.
Yeah.
Literally, I've been following up with him every single day with GIFs, happy birthday, like sliding into his DMs, like his Facebook story. I said, happy birthday. Hey, like too busy party out there. And then I'm sending him like memes, GIFs. We got on a call yesterday. He was like, let's do business together.
Nice.
I'm like that. Like, dude, like just follow up. Like just sending one GIF increases your possibility that day to close something, you know?
Yep.
The moment they reply, and I was like, hey, do you have time? Let's get on a call right now. Like literally, you don't have to even text anymore. Like the moment they're replying back and you're there, call them.
Yep.
I was like, hey, you up? Let's just do a call right now. So we did a call, you know, basically. And I mean, he hasn't signed the agreement yet, so nothing is.
You're moving the thing forward, right?
We're
the thing is like
forward,
after the follow, you might not close a deal, right? The purpose is you want to bring them towards the finish line, close. It's like football, right? American football is like close to the finish line, close to the finish line, close to the finish line.
So I'm literally pitching this guy on how I'm going to train a sales team to 2x their revenue. But if I'm not being congruent in terms of following up and being persistent with him, how am I going to demonstrate or how am I going to train his team on 2xing his revenue if I'm not congruent and following up with someone else?
Exactly. And this goes for also like if you're a sales guy trying to get in a good offer, this goes the same way. Because if you're not persistent during the sales application process, whether it be the recruiter or the business owner, they're like, is this going to be like how he follows up with his leads? You know what I mean? So like, I mean, like sometimes like I know recruiters and business owners that do that on purpose. They'll purposely ghost them. And if the salesperson doesn't follow up, they're like, yeah, this guy's not going to follow up with the leads.
I think Dan Henry said it also. Like he made a post. He intentionally didn't read the application and didn't left them all unread for his sales reps, for potential sales reps. And he said like only 3 followed up out of like tens, hundreds of applications. He was like, I know who I'm going to hire now.
100%. Because like I've never not gotten a sales job on the spot during an interview. I only had to do like one interview. After that, it was like, because after you get the track record, like the numbers are talking for you, right?
Yeah.
But if I were to get in a sales job interview and the person said, hey, listen, we got other applicants we're looking over. We'll let you know in like a week or so. Dude, there's no fucking way I'm getting off that interview until they beg me to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's no way. I'm just like, what else are you going to do? You know what I mean? So if they be like, yeah, we're going to look over it, then I'll be like, Yeah, it's not a problem. Like anything in particular you feel like I couldn't do the job for the business, I'd clarify just like an objection from a prospect. I'd isolate it and whatever the thing is, and I would ask them like, hey, so when you say that to other sales guys that you're interviewing, what do they typically do? Well, they just hop off the call. Right. So would you want a sales guy that is not persistent with you?
That's a good anchor. Now you're basically comparing the others, me versus them frame now, basically.
Right. Exactly. And be like, because if you hire the sales guys that are just like, hey, yeah, okay, we'll get back to you. Like, let's send an email. What do you feel they'll do to your leads that you spend money on?
Ooh, creating doubt now.
They'd be like, I guess they wouldn't follow up. Right. You don't want a shitty sales guy that doesn't follow up with your leads, would you?
That's a great tactic because the best way to actually close a sale is creating doubt in someone's mind.
Yep.
Because as long as you're confident, because let's say, for example, like you walk, like you're walking on a road and then you have a map with you, but it feels like you're not going the right destination. You're not going the right direction. So doubt creeps in. And when someone has doubt creeping in their mind, they want to borrow belief from someone else. Naturally, that's human tendency. They want to borrow belief from someone else. So what do people do? Ask for direction when they have the map.
That's a good analogy, actually.
And then they go to that person, and the person is like, I think it's over there and turn right, I think. Are you going to trust that person?
No.
You're going to actually have more doubt. But you have that doubt created, and then the person is like that. You never know that person, whether that person knows the destination or not. That person's like, oh, yep, I've been there so many times. It's just that way and go right.
Yeah.
You don't know that person's track record or anything, but just the way he talks, you're going to trust that person. So that's how manipulation starts, actually. That's how all these sifus and like they create doubt in your mind. Like they create doubt in your mind, and then because of their conviction and confidence that I can save you, now people are vulnerable to now leech on someone who has a belief. So on objection handling, also you want to create doubt. Oh, you can do it on your own. Like you want to create doubt, and then have them leech onto your confidence. They better leech on your confidence, your conviction, to lead them now. And that's why like let's do it works really well. My begging method, let's do it.
Please buy.
But I mean, it works really well because they're in a place of trance right now. They want to leech onto something. They want to borrow that belief. And the moment that I say, let's do it, I got you, is a moment that they leech onto that. So you want to spot that on, and you want to create doubt. What you just did was perfect because you just create doubt with other applicants. And now you demonstrate the confidence, they're gonna leech onto you.
Yeah, I tell you, if you do this on a job interview, no sales guy's f***ing doing this, man.
Yeah.
I tell you, then you're like, oh shit, look at this motherfucker. So you want to have swagger. Matt said this to our sales team when I was at 7th. He said, guys, you have the skills. You're the best sales team I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of fucking sales team. One thing lacking is swagger. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, it's kind of like airy fairy, but like swagger as in like, especially on a sales call, job interview, in your day-to-day life with women, whatever it may be, you're just like, you have that swagger. You're not like tense. Like, do you know what you're looking for? You're like, yeah, do you know what you're looking for? Nobody comes to us wanting to make less money, but what do you feel like you need help with?
Yeah.
It's that swagger, playfulness. You're not fucked.
Yeah.
So when you have that, people buy into that, right? So on a job interview too, or whatever it may be, that you have that and that you don't take no for an answer. Someone asked me the other day, hey, how do you overcome a competitor objection? Like they're going to look around different companies. I never let them get off that call until I had another call right after. I just went until I didn't have enough time because I just didn't believe. And this comes with a lot of having conviction in the offer you're selling as well. But even if when I was selling one offer where I didn't have as much conviction, I still didn't let them get off the call. Because I'm like, dude, I'm not saying that to them, but my thought process is, okay, we agree that you feel like this could help you get to where I wanted to go. Money works. What else are we waiting for?
And you're selling sales training also. How are you supposed to trust me if I'm not even overcoming this objection also? And it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, I hope now everyone's going to watch this, right? I mean, like at least 1,000 people.
Two people.
So now...
Thanks, Mom.
2 people. Oh, mom and dad. I don't have a dad, by the way. Cheers. Anyways, that went deep. I hope everyone does this now in the interview now. Like I think the interviewers are gonna have a hard time. I hope so because now everyone's trying to objection handle them.
Just be persistent though. Like that's what I mean. Just being persistent. We talked about this the other time too. But you just have more success in life and help more people. Just being aggressive, pushing, persistent rather than being timid, passive, and non-persistent.
Yep. I never had to objection handle with anyone because, and then editing team, by the way, put the Andrew Tate job interview, that's a 14-second short. He's like, what he says, he's like literally shouting at the camera and be like, I've always got job interviews, even with a degree, because like you're gonna pick someone that spent 4 years studying. Well, I'm gonna be the hardest person in the room. I'm gonna be the one that actually makes you the most money. Like I'm gonna be the fastest learner. I'm gonna outwork everyone. So you gotta hire me, you know. And he said it with so much conviction. It's like, shit, this guy's so arrogant that I want to give him a chance.
Yep.
But you don't have to be like Andrew Tate. But his level of confidence, it's like, if you have confidence, the people will be like, what does this guy have? Why does this guy have so much confidence, right? Like, your charisma attracts people, right?
Yep.
Like, that's how you attract opportunities. That's how you nail your interview down. If you have confidence, like sheer confidence and swagger also. Like, for example, swagger in terms of, yesterday I was like paying for a beach club, and I was just joking with a lady who was like I was taking my order. She was like, yeah, it's XYZ amount, and I was like, yeah, thank you. I'm just gonna sleep outside. Like I think I'm gonna get kicked out tomorrow also, or I think I'm just not gonna put food on the table. Thank you, take my money here. And she was like cracking up, you know.
Yep.
And she was like, oh, anything else? Like she was also being playful also, and there was this kind of like this flirty vibes also. But that's just have swagger, just have confidence, just don't take shit seriously, you know. Also.
Yeah, 100%. So it's not like you have to do it this way. Again, like we're just sharing like what's worked for us, right? But like that persistent goes a long way. And some people may be wondering like, yeah, but what if I burn the lead, or what if I'm being like too aggressive? Yes, you may still get that. I've gotten too, but you'll lose less by doing it that way, by losing more, but just being a leaf in the wind, just hoping that they email back to you, hoping that whether it be a sales prospect or whether it be like a job interview, like a business owner, just like hoping that I don't know about you, but I never want to be in that position where I'm a leaf in the wind. I'm like, oh, I hope this works. I hope they reply back to me. I just hate that feeling, man, because you don't have control.
Everyone feels the same way. Everyone, because you're losing control that way also.
Yep.
But yeah, you want to get the job done when the job can be done, right? Like, if you're really good at follow-up, if you can be persistent, right? But also at the same time, like the people that always ask, what if I'm burning the leads? They like, because the ones that are actually good at objection handling, they never ask that question. Oh, what if I actually burn? They don't give a fuck. They absolutely don't give a fuck. Like the ones that have never really gone the furthest in objection handling, they're always the ones asking this. Oh, what if I offend this? It's like, what if I offend this girl with having this sexual joke or having this chemistry? I don't know. Try it out.
Yeah. The thing is, you gotta actually burn leads. That's the thing. You gotta burn leads and burn bridges in order to see your sweet spot. Right. Because if you don't know, you don't know. It's kind of like pulling back a slingshot, right? I call it the snapping point, which is you don't know when the rubber band is going to snap until you actually pull it far enough.
Yeah.
So most people, they're too on the other end of the spectrum, which is too timid and not trying hard enough. But you got to actually snap the rubber band to see, oh, like what's my sweet spot? Because every sweet spot's different, right? Hey, how do I ride the bike? How much degrees left do I turn? I don't know, because your weight's different than mine.
Yeah.
Your hand-eye coordination different than mine. So how about we actually fall to a point? It's not going to be like an irreversible decision, right? Because you can get back up. You're not going to fucking die.
Yeah.
Right? So like just go to how far it can do and then bring it back and then you'll figure it out, right? But the thing is this. People say that. It's like, what if I burn the lead? Bro, you're not following up anyway. It's like, so you're not following up. You're not going to talk to that person anyway. So why does it matter? Right? So it's like either go aggressive as fuck on the first call or do follow-up after. Choose one. But you're not even doing that. So do something.
Yeah. We should create an SOP of follow-ups, actually. I mean, I know you already have it. I'm just going to create an SOP. I'll just screenshot the conversation that I had with this guy and just slide it to my DMs or just slide it to my DMs. I like the attention. Slide it to my DMs. I'll send you a screenshot of the conversation that I had, like the memes, the GIFs I send, how I was being persistent, also how I called also the guy. If you want it, I'll send you the screenshot. I'll put it in the doc and just send it over to you guys, for free.
Sweet.
So
cool.
But I mean, if you still burn the lead, they'll forget in a month anyways. Just follow up. I sent a meme to one guy and he was like, "Hey, June, you're retarded." I sent him a Spider-Man meme where he's disappearing again. Editing team, Spider-Man where he's disappearing, and Iron Man was like, "Oh," and I was like, waiting for your call or something like that, right? Or you just disappeared, and one guy was just texting me, "Hey, you're retarded." That was the only time though in my career.
Who cares, man? You're like, how many of those motherfuckers gonna show up to your funeral?
Yeah, everyone cracked up, or people ignore, or just crack up. If they crack up, the moment they crack up, continue the conversation again.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's just people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to say?
No, I mean, we're done.
All right. Well, welcome to this episode. Well, not welcome because you're already welcomed. Good for sticking around. Smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe. Share it to your sales homies. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Peace. Ciao.